Hey everybody, we're the Ulshoeffers. My name is Troy,
Tiffany.
and we are documenting our journey into transitioning to
Tiny living.
minimalism. If you don't know what it is, just a really brief arching overview. It's taking this amount of stuff in your life, there's the camera, all right, this much, and we're making it this much. So it's a very difficult process, and we want to be able to share this with people that are maybe contemplating doing this.
And our friends and family.
It's a difficult process. We're 2 weeks into it, and we've already had our share of
Boo-hoos.
Yeah, it's tough, but we know that there's good as well. So
Today, we're just going to talk about how we got there and why we have chosen this transition.
yeah, so why don't you share on how we even got to the point where we're doing this?
All right. So if it all goes kapowie, it's Marcy's fault.
Yeah. Marcy.
So my girlfriend, amazing human lover, she has this thing about her where if she buys one item, she gets rid of two. It's amazing. Never seen anything like it. Just amazing. So I had an issue with keeping grocery bags, and she would make fun of me like every time she came over. I had not one but two drawers of grocery bags, and mind you, I would butterfly them and condense them. And thing is like how many grocery bags does one person need?
2 drawers stocked full of this.
So that really got me thinking, why do I need so many? And I don't. And I got rid of one complete drawer, and oh darn, we were fine. Still have yet to run out of grocery bags. So that's kind of where the wheels started turning.
How long ago was that when the wheels started turning for you?
A couple of years ago.
Definitely hasn't been that long for me. Go ahead.
So, well, definitely three. So, but anywho, so she suggested a book. I forgot the title of the book. She never texted it to me. So I was on Netflix and I saw something about minimalism, watched it, was like, ooh, the hippie in me is all game. So, and you know how Netflix sends you down a rabbit hole, it'll suggest this and so on and so forth. Found through the rabbit hole the tiny builders or tiny house building or whatever. Yep. And kind of got sucked in and was like, I could totally do that. So I suggested it to my husband when our children left the nest, and I never in a million years thought that he would be on board. I figured I'd get a no. I planted the seed. I water it for a couple of years.
Know this, like she's bringing up when we became empty nesters. You need to realize that this happened like a month ago. So we have 2 sons, one 20, one 18. Both left the nest within a week of each other.
Yeah. Well,
one started
yeah.
freshman in college. The other one has a full-time gig, has his own apartment, and it's now just us. So anyway,
crazy.
Empty nest, really recent. Go ahead.
So, but anyway, I asked him, if he would at least watch the show, because I felt like he would be more upset about like the style of living, like it would be like an RV or something and not a house. And so going from a certain quote unquote lifestyle, whatever, to RV living, I could see how if you looked at it in those terms, it would be a little disheartening. Told him no, watch this episode. It's not like that. And so he did, and he was interested. And if anyone knows my husband, that he likes to research everything. He obsessed over it. And 3 days later, he came to me and said he was completely on board. Like he had done all the research. watched every episode of the Tiny Builders or Tiny House Living or whatever. And
I don't want you to think, like, it wasn't Netflix or YouTube that really convinced me
no.
of much. But when I say I did research, like, I'm pulling up blueprints. I'm looking at the actual space of these homes, because when we say tiny home, 350 square feet is what I'm talking about. Anything to be considered a tiny home by most city codes, it's under 400 square feet. The one that in particular that we are purchasing is 350. Okay, go ahead.
So that's kind of how it came about. The why. Each of us have something different in mind. Me personally, I am a hippie at heart, and I definitely want to reduce my footprint. I want to reduce stress, less stress. I want to explore, and I don't want to be part of the rat race anymore. I don't want to simply work for stuff. I don't want to work to pay bills. I want to enjoy the time that we have while we have it. I want to be able to leave something to my children later on. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from. That's why I've chosen to do this.
Yeah, mine's a little bit more spontaneous. Like, if you know me, I was not on board with this idea whatsoever when it got brought up many moons ago. It's just something that I wasn't interested in. To me, like, my level of success has always been tied into size of home, amount of stuff. So just the typical American, have you met certain tier levels? But for me, everything for me to make this decision kind of happened in a very condensed amount of time. One, we became empty nesters. Two, we, as active duty military, we have a PCS change, a duty station change happening in December. So we're moving from the Denver area to just south of Salt Lake City in Utah.
It's beautiful, y'all.
And it's just us. And then something I'm not going to dive into in depth here, at least not in this little introductory video, is I had a medical issue come up about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. And not to sound morbid or dramatic, but it really got me thinking about what's important. And Tiffany said something to me that really resonated, and I'll try to make this brief. So I'm a huge Chargers fan, like a really, really big Chargers fan. And I have a room in our home, our 1,800 square foot home here in Denver area, dedicated to nothing but my Charger stuff. And there's barely any wall visible between the jerseys, the autographs, the pictures, the plaques, what you name it, I got it. Love my team. Big win today. So she said something to me, and instead of me just automatically reacting and being like, and blowing off what she was talking about, she said to me, would you rather, I don't mean I'm blowing you off, you know what I mean. I just got in trouble. Would you rather have all this stuff, which to me is aesthetically pleasing? I like to see it, but I don't look at it enough for it to really matter. Or would you rather be financially free, which is a huge, huge reason to make this transition, to where instead of going to your little man cave to watch a football game surrounded by stuff, you're going to have the time and the finances to hop on a plane and go watch them in person and be around people and build relationships and have those memories and to share it with people that matter. I mean, my youngest son is as big, right, Die Hard Bolt Club, big shout out, good group of people. And it resonated with me, and I really started to think about it. And with all those stars aligning, and we'll get into the actual home that we're purchasing, our visit there to see it and everything that happened that led up to that. I mean, this all happened very quickly. We have been in this process approximately 2 weeks.
2.5?
Right.
I dropped it at the half.
So we're sharing with you in real time what it's like going from the normal American household to something vastly, vastly different. And there has been some good that goes along with this and a lot of excitement, but it has been painful.
Yes.
Parting with things is unexpectedly tough.
It is crazy how we as humans, we attach a memory to an item. You know, it's just, it's been there are some things that I'm like, whatever, you know, but there are some items that I had some major turmoil. And so, but we will get further into that the next go round. But we just wanted to touch base, kind of let you know what we're doing, why we're doing it, and to be completely upfront and honest about,
transparent about the whole process.
Because we're not trying to convince anybody, but we also don't want someone to just jump into it like we are and not have something to
a plan.
Yeah.
Plan.
So we're gonna guinea pig, and you can watch and laugh and make fun of and enjoy and cry with and through the process. And trust me, there will be crying. Yeah, there will be crying. So, but anyway, that's the nuts and bolts of it. And,
and we want to encourage those that are on the fence about this.
Research.
Do your due diligence on this, because this is a big life shift. Everything changes. Everything.
Like we are gonna.
This is
Once we move in, this is
350
probably,
square feet.
Right there, right there, right.
Hi.
Next to
So anyway, our goal on this channel that we'll share over, social media platforms or whatever, is to start a conversation, share with you our experiences. We'll probably do Q&As and stuff like that. And if you have questions or comments, if you're somebody who's already done this and you're seeing this being like, I remember being there,
wisdom.
share some advice and some wisdom with us. I think for our introduction into this, I think we're good. What do you think?
I think we're good.
All right. So we'll check in again next week with all the joy and pain of getting rid of about 95% of our stuff and making our footprint about 1/10 of what it currently is. Until then, bye.